Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And once the Vikings fell to 1-4, and it was announced Justin Jefferson would miss at least the next 4 games as he was placed on IR, it was widely assumed that the Vikings season was basically over 1 year after they won 13 games. All the close games they won last year were turning into close losses. This season, well, don't look now. They've won 3 in a row to move to 4-4, back to 500 after their 24-10 win over the Packers. Kirk Cousins, another excellent game. Problem is, that is in all likelihood the last time we are going to see Kirk Cousins this season. Reported torn Achilles would end his season. Very unfortunate because he's really been having a prolific season for Minnesota. Of course, is a free agent after the year. There had been rumors that maybe he would go to the Jets, but with the Vikings winning, probably wasn't going to happen. But man, what a tough loss for the Vikings. Backup quarterback Jaren Hall came in. If you're wondering who Jaren Hall is, he was a fifth-round pick of the Vikings in this past season. The 2023 NFL Draft. We take a look at his numbers in college. Last season, prolific, but BYU and independent. 66% completion percentage, 3,171 yards, 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 52 touchdown passes, and 11 interceptions for his career. So do they stick with him, or we got to remember the trade deadline is in 2 days. This is via the big lead. 3 replacements for Kirk Cousins as Vikings quarterback. So Ian Rappaport, you see, feared to have torn his Achilles. Here are a few possible targets for the Vikings if they decide to go all in despite Cousins' injury. Jacoby Brissett, I think that would be an excellent option. Brissett performed very well for the Browns last season. He actually finished the year top 10 in QBR. He could be a very adequate replacement for the Vikings. Hasn't gotten a chance to play with the Commanders. Sam Darnold, I don't think the 49ers are going to trade Sam Darnold. I know as I was recording this, they were losing 14-7 to the Bengals. I mean, is the slipper falling off Brock Purdy? I'm not ready to say it yet, but I think they want to keep Sam Darnold around. And then Taylor Heineke, who saw his first action of the season for the Falcons. Finally benched Desmond Ridder, as Ritter's had his struggles. The Falcons have so many offensive weapons that they took with high draft picks: Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Desmond Ridder still not being successful. So I don't know if the Falcons are going to trade Taylor Heineke because they are still in a not very good NFC South division, and they may decide to stick with Heineke after bringing him in today. Another guy potentially maybe could be on the move is a Ryan Tannehill. We saw Will Levis perform very well today in the Titans' win over the Atlanta Falcons. Quite the connection with DeAndre Hopkins today. So maybe after that game, they're ready to move on to Levis. Of course, Ryan Tannehill has been nothing to write home about for the Titans this season. But it's always hard to trade for a quarterback right at the trade deadline. One I do remember was Carson Palmer, who was basically sitting at home, was traded from the Bengals to the Raiders, I believe over a decade ago now. Not something that often happens because, unless they're familiar with the system, probably it'll take some time to become fully acclimated with, how the offense is run for their new team. So it won't be an easy thing. So what do you think? Do the Vikings stick with Jaren Hall? Do they go after one of the names I mentioned? Carson Wentz is still a free agent. Otherwise, not much. Not many unsigned quarterbacks that have had success in the NFL, but tough loss for the Vikings. Just when they were getting their act together. Justin Jefferson could be back within 2 games. Jordan Addison has been awesome. They finally got their first rushing touchdown this season by Cam Akers. But Kirk Cousins likely out for this season. Could it be his last game with the Vikings? As I mentioned, he is a free agent after this season. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.